All right, Freddie Gillespie, forward from Baylor University. Thanks for joining us today. Obviously getting ready to undergo the 2020 NBA draft process. A little bit different this year. What have you kind of been conveying to teams about you as a player without having the ability to do workouts right now?
Since I think I just try and verbalize and quantify as much as possible myself as a player and what I can contribute on the floor. I think a lot of these teams watch a lot of film, so and they look at that. So I just try and first and foremost, highlight those strengths and show how I'm working on my weaknesses.
What's life been like for you the last couple months? Obviously, people have had to get creative in terms of workouts and gym access and weight rooms. What have you been doing to kind of stay in shape and rhythm?
Again, I've gotten creative. So a lot of it is, for conditioning and, kind of leg strength and things like that. We're doing hill sprints, like a little hill circuit. Put the car in neutral and push the car on the parking lot, and things like that. You can put cones outside in the parking lot or on the sidewalk and then, work on your ball handling. You're just getting clever and, figuring it out.
Does sound clever. Now, your path to here is about as, with all due respect, as unlikely as maybe any other prospect in the draft. You started playing basketball in 8th grade. You were injured for the large chunk of your high school career. You played 16 minutes at a Division III school as a freshman and then transferred after 2 years. And you fast forward to this year, you started 30 games from one of the best teams in the country. How do you wrap your head around, as you look at this process right now, wrap your head around the trajectory you've had in such a short amount of time?
It's definitely a blessing and something I'm thankful for. I think when you're in it, it's a little different because it's so incremental, it's so step by step, and I think you don't really realize. I don't really realize how far I've come, so I take a moment to pause and look back. In terms of wrapping my head around it, I just focus on thinking about just being appreciated, just being thankful, and having gratitude for it, and making the most of every moment that I have.
You've had quite a year at Baylor. You're second team All Big 12, Big 12 most improved, and Big 12 all defensive. You average close to a double-double, 2.5 blocks. Where do you think you're going to fit initially in the NBA, or what's going to stick out when you get to the next level right off the bat?
I think rebounding is probably the first thing that comes to mind because I think that translates from, every level. And that's something I think has been part of my game for so long that that's something I would expect to stay with me. It's something I take seriously. As for other parts, I think, defensively, I'm a defensive-minded player. I'm always have been since I first started playing. I always hated it when someone scored on me. So I think that would stick out to just my defensive passion, defensive IQ, and I think I'll get a chance to show some of my defensive versatility as well.
Yeah, you talk about that versatility. Look at a lot of teams right now and sort of maybe start with the Draymond Greens of playing a lot of small ball 5, 6'8", 6'9" guys. I mean, you definitely have the size and fit that. Is that somewhere you feel like you can kind of initially fit playing a small ball 5, rotating the 4, stuff like that?
Yeah, 100%. And that's something that I'm working on. I'm kind of just expanding my game, become more comfortable in that role, and something that I'm doing every day. And just a lot of it is film breakdown. Working my athleticism, my agility, my feet and quickness. So something that I definitely want to be able to, just display the teams at some point.
There's a couple other former Baylor players that went through similar paths, started out at smaller schools, went to Baylor, and then now flourishing in the NBA. Taurean Prince with the Nets and Royce O'Neal with the Jazz. I mean, is there something special about that Baylor program that really, taking a chance on guys and just getting the most out of them to set them up for the next level? What's special about that program from your experience there?
Yeah. I mean, so I think our staff is just. I give credit to our staff, and it comes down to talent evaluation. I think they look for something a bit deeper than just what's on the surface. I think they look at they look at that hunger, the drive, the passion, the work ethic, and the character and things like that. So, and I think they have a good thing of giving guys a chance, an opportunity, and the resources, and again looking for those for something more than talent.
I'm wrapping up with this. We look at the Charlotte Hornets team, obviously developmental year, a lot of rookies, sophomores, third-year guys picking up a lot of the core minutes. What do you know about this organization? What are your impressions of it, and how could you see yourself potentially fitting in if this is where you end up landing?
I look at the organization, and what I look at is it's fun to see. I think this past season, I got to see a couple guys thrive, like Devontae Graham. I know it's like Terry Rozier had a stretch where he was shooting the lights out and things like that. But so I think what's going to come down to is just a matter of clicking and chemistry. Like you said, it is a lot it's a young group, And then what it comes down to is just, guys are going to figure it out. That's how it works. Experience is the best teacher. That's one thing that, the veterans always say. As for what I can contribute, I think what I can do is, again, I think rebounding is one. I know the Hornets were like 9th in offensive rebounding percentage, and so I'll only improve that. And then again, I think defense rebounding, is an area where there's a struggle, but so that's an area where I happen to be very good at as well. So I think that's one area where I can really help contribute and make a difference.